What's going on, guys? So in this video I'm going to give a quick overview and explain what method polymorphism is. So that's method polymorphism. Okay, hopefully I said that clearly. Public class animal. So let's fill out the animal class because we're going to need an inheritance hierarchy. So let's do that. Okay. We don't really need any fields to demonstrate method polymorphism. Okay, so there we've done the basics of animal, and now let's do canine. Everybody loves dogs, apart from cats, obviously. Well, probably some cats love dogs. Maybe the friendly cats love dogs. They're like the dogs that are friendly. Okay, so public class canine, and let's create the constructor. Canine, there we go. Okay, so let's create one more, which is Chihuahua. Okay. Yeah, if you forget how to spell Chihuahua, guys, it's Chihuahua. That's how I learned it, because I kept spelling it wrong. I mean, maybe you're in a situation where you don't actually have to write down Chihuahua much. In that case, there might not be that much point in you learning it. But here we go. So there we go. Let's do a little inheritance hierarchy. So canine is an animal. So let's say it extends animal. And Chihuahua probably is a dog, or it's a canine. So let's say it extends canine. What have I done wrong? What have I done wrong here, guys? Public class Chihuahua. Yeah. Oh, the capital letter. There we go. I love my capital letters, even when they're not needed. Okay, there we go. So we've got a little inheritance hierarchy there. So what is method polymorphism? It's used in inheritance hierarchies. So what do animals do? Animals make sounds. So let's say this. Let's do a method void, because we can use print to demonstrate it. Public void make sound. Okay, so this method is created in the animal superclass. So let's do something. What noise do animals make? Let's just say hum, guys. I'm sure some animals hum. I mean, this is the all animals, so I'm sure all animals are capable of humming. Okay, canines. So we want to use method polymorphism to create a list of objects and then call methods on those objects, and a different method should be called depending on what the dynamic type of the object is. So let's just, you'll understand in a minute, guys. So public void make make sound. So because this method has the same parameters, which is none, and the same name and return value as its superclass method make sound, then it's overriding. So if this method is called on a canine object, it will instead use this version of the method, because it's overriding the make sound method. Because it's also called make sound, it has the same header. So what noise do canines make? Woof. I'm sure all canines are capable of woofing. And let's do Chihuahua. So public void make, capital letter again, make sound. So this is in the class Chihuahua, which is the bottom of the inheritance hierarchy. So this is the same header as we've got in the other two classes. And again, this overrides what the canine and the animal make sound methods. So we just need to think now, what noise will a chihuahua make? Maybe a yelp. I'm sure chihuahuas are capable of yelping. There we go. So we've got a little inheritance hierarchy going on now. So let's create a class called test this. Okay. Right. Public class. Classes should always start with a capital letter by convention, but you don't need to technically. So public, let's create a constructor to create an object of test this. Okay. And let's create an array list to store a few classes of our animal class. Import java.util array list. Okay, there we go. And let's create a field that holds array list. So array list is a generic type, which basically means you have to do these pointy brackets and then say the type that you want to store in there. So I'm going to type animal, and this means that in this array list I can store animal class objects or any object that is also of type animal, which is canine and chihuahua, because they too are animals because they're subclasses of this animal class. Okay, so right, array list animal. Oh, sorry guys, what am I doing here? Okay, so we need a name. Okay, so let's call it animal list. I reckon that's pretty clear. So let's initialize the animal list to a new array list. There we go. And let's create some objects in the array list, guys. So animal list dot add. Okay, let's just add a canine, anonymous object, new canine. Okay. Okay, and animal list dot add a new chihuahua. Chihuahua. Okay. There we go. And let's put the animal at the top. Animal list dot add new animal. There we go. So this constructor will create an array list, and then it will add these 3 animals from our inheritance hierarchy to that animal list. So let's compile this. Yep, that compiles. So also in our constructor, let's iterate through the animals and the canines and the chihuahuas. So it's all in the list. So they're all of type animal. So in the for each loop, we can just say the type to iterate through is animal. So that's pretty useful. A lot of useful things with inheritance, guys. So let's do that for each animal stored in an animal list. Let's call the make sound method. So we're calling the same method on all of the animals objects. Okay, an animal make sound. So let's compile the whole thing. Let's create a test this object. And fingers crossed, guys. Right, there we go. Hum, woof, and yelp. Oh, I forgot to put a print line in the animal make sound method. Okay, so let's try it again. Create a new test this. Hum, woof, and yelp. So what's happening here, guys, is first of all, the animal object is the dynamic type, which is basically the type at runtime. Its type at compile time is just animal. All the compile time types of these are, well, they're basically animal as well. But at runtime, they have the compiler looks inside of those specific classes for a method that will override the superclasses methods that they use. So what's happening here is the for each loop iterates through animal list because each object is of type animal, and then on the animal object it calls the make sound method, which is here, and that's the top of our class hierarchy. So next on our array list is canine. So the compiler says this animal, which is the dynamic type of this animal, is canine, and it's calling the make sound method. So it starts through the canine class and it checks upwards, but because there's a method in the actual canine class that's overriding the method in animal, then it will call the make sound method in canine class first. And the same thing happens with Chihuahua. So it iterates to the bottom of our array list and it sees that the type of the current object at the bottom of the array list is Chihuahua, and it calls the make sound method on it, which overrides all of those because that's the dynamic type of the object Chihuahua. So basically, guys, that is method polymorphism. It's pretty easy. So hopefully this video helped you, and don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Take it easy, guys.